Alright, hi. It's about 5 minutes since I just recorded that bout between Lee Kiefer and Ariana Errigo, and I'm going to just yield to temptation and do Toldo versus Itkin right now. So this is from the round of 32 at Budapest, between Guilherme Toldo and Nick Itkin. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, play. So, given that I covered a bout later in the tournament of Toldo's against Lee Kwang Hyun, it's no spoiler that Toldo wins this bout, but this is also, I think, the first time I've talked about Nick Itkin on this channel, if I'm not very much mistaken. I think it is. So I'm going to try to point out some of the little idiosyncrasies of Nick's fencing that are pretty unique to him, but I also just want to gaze in awe at Toldo's performance today, because he does really well. I think at this point Itkin was quite a bit higher world ranking than Toldo. Again, I only have the world rankings as they are now after the World Championships is done, so I may be wrong about that. But at any rate, I would say this is a bit of an upset by Toldo. So, let's see. I could talk a lot about Itkin, but I'll like always, I'll try and keep this relatively unbiased between the two, with how much time I talk about either of them. So, we've got a point line little attempt there by Itkin. Tries to counterattack by just lunging right into Toldo. There was core before anything happened, and it's going to be a card to the left. Ooh, okay, for jostling, I guess. Okay, that's one way to start a bout. Let's see this again. So yeah, Itkin's got this nice white on guard. He likes this very kind of jabby Remise type thing, if the distance remains close. And a pretty smooth march, all told. Also, you'll see he does this thing with his head that I really don't like, where he kind of pops it up and kind of exposes his neck under the bib of the mask. I'm really worried at some point he's going to get injured doing that. That's just a personal pet peeve I have. But at any rate, Toldo able to get one on the board. Okay, Toldo very active on defense, and oh, okay, tries a little too hard there, and Itkin slips one in. Yeah, Toldo is when he's on the ball like this, as we saw at Rio as well, he tends to go pretty fast and loose, and that can sacrifice some of his accuracy. Tries to four and then flick to the back there, but Itkin parries it. Now Itkin starts again. Very relaxed march. I kind of like the idea by Itkin here of keeping the tempo slow when he's attacking. Toldo likes being super active like that, so forcing the bout slower can maybe throw him off a little bit and kind of subconsciously decrease his energy a bit. Itkin takes the blade and starts again. Toldo not being very active. There it is. Okay. Counterattack and close out an 8. Toldo being left-handed, again, the outside line is going to be probably the most common one to both use and try to close out in a counterattack like that. Okay, it can parry post, but Toldo takes it back and starts again. Finishes short. I will say, one thing that we haven't seen much from Toldo is a super long finish. He's got great blade work there in close, as we see, although he goes off target. But most of his finishes have been very short, and they kind of rely on him getting close before he really pulls it out. Itkin has a bit longer reach, so he might go for some stop hits here. Toldo goes off target. Itkin missed, though. It's not... Oh. Maybe he didn't go off target. Maybe his plug just fell out. Always very annoying when that happens. And test just to make sure nothing is irrevocably broken. So, more marching by Toldo. Itkin again with the pointed line. Turns it into barrier post. Again, misses. Tries Prime Remise. Prime is a pretty good line for Toldo, but against Toldo, I mean. But distance was very close that time. Toldo trying to scare Itkin into maybe stopping or maybe pulling the trigger too early with his footwork. And leaves the blade out in the low line, which is also pretty interesting. Turns it into a parry. And then starts. Accelerates a bit. There's a attempted stop hit by Itkin, as I kind of alluded to earlier, but Toldo catches him and goes off target on the arm, I think. That was just, I think, a slight misjudging of the distance there by Itkin. It was a little too close. It's a very small adjustment to make, though. There's a... Okay. Toldo goes so fast that he can't stop by the time Itkin's found the blade, and it's a very easy close distance riposte for Itkin. Which is another one of his very strong actions. He's got a very snappy parry riposte once his feet are grounded. It's a little bit slower when he's trying to run away at the same time. There's one line again. Again, jabby remises like that are very classic Itkin when the distance is stationary. Again, point in line. We'll see if a similar exchange happens, or if Toldo's learned anything to deal with it. Okay. Oh, okay, very nice. Toldo accelerates into a, I guess you could call that a proper flesh, even. So, good. Some great ideas here by Toldo. Parry post again by Itkin. Misses, though, or falls short. Now Itkin starts. Toldo leaves the blade out. Tramples him, crushes all his space away, and yeah, final parry post there. Toldo's blade working close is... He's gotten blazingly fast. I'm really liking this. Itkin can definitely handle that, especially if he can keep the distance a little wider. He was out of space there at the end, which makes that a lot easier to hit for Toldo. But... Oh, point in line by Toldo this time. Oh, beautiful! Absolutely beautiful. That timing just feels so clean. It's like, it can lunges. Try not to use too many onomatopoeias. That does feel nice, though. Toldo marches again. Oh, wow! He left his blade in 4, and it can parry himself. Man! Toldo with the blade work moves. It's like, he's always one step ahead of Itkin, with the blade at least, at that distance at least. Again, I do still favor Itkin at longer distances, just because he's got more options. There finishes a little bit short, goes off target. Toldo tried to stop hit, but that's pretty ambitious against Itkin. He's usually very good at catching someone who's running away like that. Bounce in, bounce out, bounce in, bounce out, and Toldo goes, but Itkin parries. Now Itkin marches. Toldo's out of space now, and Itkin finishes long, yeah. That is, for all the kind of weirdness that he has with his, like, kind of his on-guard and his hand positioning, Itkin has a very clean disengaged lunge like that. Very typically American in that respect. He's got some kind of unconventionalities in his technique, but when he needs to, he can be crisp and perfect like that. Although that time, Toldo able to break inside the distance. Itkin is in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, again, that trampoline attack by Toldo with a lot of blade taking lets him finish short very safely. Ordinarily finishing at that distance against Itkin's problematic if you can't get right up in his face first. And again, that tempo by Toldo just feels so nice, except he hit off target that time. It's always right as Itkin's getting ready to go. Like, it technically is his attack there, I think, but he just has no chance to hit. Just because the timing's so good. Itkin with a pointed line again. Bounce in, bounce out. Now Itkin can start. Running out of time in this period, though. Oh, that's a bad time to get hit there by Toldo. He could have just backed away more, I think. That's a pretty good momentum swing for Itkin if he can just last now the last 7.5 seconds. It's pretty tight, though. Oh, it's actually frame rate's dropping a little bit. I couldn't see what the blades are doing there. Hope that doesn't persist. Okay, Itkin keeps marching. 1 second. Finishes long. Goes off target. Itkin chasing chasing touches now. I don't know if he even knows what the time is. No, he does. Okay. I was going to say, he's being very aggressive for 1 second left. Although, having just gotten that point to make it 4-7, definitely you can keep the pressure on if Toldo might make another mistake, and then you're going into the 1 minute break at 5-7. But Itkin is definitely on the up and up now. I'd say if he's got to change anything, it's just to try and keep Toldo at longer distance. Although that's much easier said than done. Toldo has proven very good at breaking inside things, both on offense and defense. Itkin's use of point of line is great as a kind of delaying tactic in that respect. It forces Toldo to take the blade before he goes. And Itkin snappy parry post, which we've seen a couple times. Means he can probably actually outblade work Toldo if Toldo has to like commit from a long distance to make a beat attack to get close. So I think that could probably be a way forward for Nick. But I also think he has to find a way to reliably hit with an attack. And we saw a very nice like disengaged lunge right when Toldo was on the back line. But I feel like Toldo may not give him any more opportunities to push him back to the back line. I think this bout's really going to hinge on Nick's ability to attack, though. Everything else has been pretty... All the scores haven't been, like... Toldo's masterful and close, but other than that, they've been pretty well balanced. Toldo marches. Itkin again puts out point of line. This is all very good. Point of line again. Oh, tries a counterattack there. That's a little bit questionable, actually. If Toldo's already looking for the blade, then counterattack, he might be going slow, and counterattack might not be the best option, because Toldo might still have room to put the point on. That's parry post by Itkin. That's better, I think. Let's see, though. Another parry post as he tries to run away. So he's making it very hard. You can see his blade is like everywhere Toldo's is, making it very hard for him to break inside safely. Toldo doesn't want to like commit right as he gets parried. That's like the worst possible time for him. Scares Itkin though and turns it around. Ooh, man. Wait, no lights? They're both. I think they're both gonna test here. Wait. Okay. My guess is the green light was for the test and the white light was just like it just showed up for no reason. I hope so. Alright. Given that the referee hasn't stopped the bout, I'll assume that their equipment works. Very nice timing by Itkin, though. That is another like classic hallmark of his style. He's got a very sharp, like mid-distance lunge. That, like, from his foot being down on guard to his foot being down on the lunge is like, it's super quick. So yeah, if Toldo's blade is slightly out of alignment, he could just lose to that immediately. Attempted attack off the line by Nick, but Toldo gets away. Now Toldo marches slowly. And Nick, yeah, Nick tried it again. He thought Toldo stopped there? I didn't see it that way. That felt like a pretty continuous attack by Toldo. I think, I don't like it calling for a video review there, actually, by Itkin. That was, to me, that seems pretty clear. He is very opportunistic when it comes to that, but, I mean, you saw a textbook example of that touch working previously. And that didn't feel like it. Yeah, it's attack left. It's gotta be. So one instance of Nick using that touch very well, and one instance of him choosing to do it at the wrong time. Nick marches. Toldo scares him, though. Nick's having some trouble turning his march into a finish, honestly. Toldo's consistently able to like scare him into backing away, and then Toldo can just push him back to the end at that point. And to be fair, if Toldo can counterattack like that, that even felt like a bit long distance for that type of counterattack. I don't know. Itkin felt like he was a little bit out of alignment. There was this blade, and like Toldo's very explosive. That distance felt like it could have been better for Toldo, actually. Nick finishes off target. It's not bad. Toldo, that time was just running away. Attempted 6-flick by Itkin. Toldo's out of distance, though. Oh, Itkin's staying really in distance. That, like, the closer the distance gets on that, like with that situation with Toldo marching, I feel like the better it's going to get for his blade work and the worse it's going to get for Itkin's. I don't like Itkin staying put there. That feels really risky. He might go for the remise, actually, if, or maybe for another one of those super sharp lunges, actually, if Toldo's willing to give him that distance. Almost there. Okay. So, another thing I haven't mentioned about Itkin before in this bout is he does when he makes a half advance as he's defending, as he's retreating, his half advance, the type of half advance he does is a little bit of a tell. If his front foot comes way up, it's usually something he's planned. If his front foot doesn't come up, it's usually him being open eyes. Okay, more infighting to an off target for Itkin, which is pretty good for him. That half advance thing, I'll try and point it out if it happens again. I'm not sure if it will. That's just something interesting I've noticed about his footwork, though. We'll see if he does it here. That, okay. So you see how he picks his foot way up there? That means usually that he's looking for something specific. If it's just a half advance into distance, it means maybe he doesn't know what he's going to do. But we'll see. I still feel like he needs to find a way to hit with his attacks. That's like the main thing right now. Like, giving his attack up in that situation. There, finds an off target. Even though Toldo crushes really, really hard, like, Itkin can do that. And the fact that he really hasn't been trying it and instead just been backing away is part of the reason that Toldo has a bit of a lead on him right now. So, I'll try not to impose that narrative onto this bout when it's not applicable, but that really feels like the situation right now. Nick! Oh, Nick! Celebrating prematurely, but still manages to scrape it out. Wow, wow, wow. Also a bit of an oops moment by Toldo that he can't capitalize on that. Oof, that is Danger Town. It's not over till the referee says halt. Never forget that. Oh, Nick tries to blast in. Toldo has counter time. That's something, if you remember way back to his bout with like Rene Prance right at the his round of 64 bout at Rio. He really flexed his counter time game against Prance's strong counterattack, kind of like that, and it's good to see that he still kind of got that. Definitely favors his like overall style of like lots of blade actions and very close distance. That's a beat attack from the left. Yeah, that's one sound, Nick. You're not going to get that. Don't ask for video, man. It's not worth it. Okay. Alright. 2 attacks on the line. Referee's going to have a look. I have no idea there. I would love to see the slow motion myself. Someone's brought a noisemaker in the stands. Let's see what the call's going to be. Is it just simul? I think it's simul. Yep. They're getting on guard there. It's definitely simul. Parry post by Nick. Very nice. And as I said before, his ability to like snap the blade on target is very good when he's relatively stationary like that, when the distance isn't changing much. That's really when his blade work is at its best. Whereas Toldo's blade work is more at its best when the distance is collapsing. Yep, still riposte from the right. Okay. Still though, I know I'm saying this a lot, but I feel like Nick Itkin has to find a way to make his attacks work. Or at least make them more impactful in the bout. Okay, still giving distance. Pretty slowly though. Manages to take the blade. Okay, now he starts. Toldo offering the blade in low like he always does. Oh, interesting idea by Nick. But yeah, again, when that distance is collapsing, Toldo's blade work is just too good. That was a great idea by Nick, though. Let his first attack fall short, and if Toldo is a little bit over-eager going for it, just immediately go for the remise. Oh, man, cross-step by Toldo. He's getting really aggressive now. And again, especially when it's up like this, he does tend to get pretty fast and loose, which can mean he, like, over-corrects the distance a lot, and he can be a little bit less accurate. But not that time, though. That was perfect. To be fair, he did slow way down right before the end there, so definitely helps his accuracy a lot, and to not like overshoot the target. Okay. Nick is also kind of playing a bit loose now, but slower. 28.6 seconds, 12.7. Okay, again, jabby remises. Ooh, that's probably a counterattack by Nick. I didn't hear the blade until after the light turned on. But at any rate, it's a touch. Alright, the second period is starting to wind down now. 22 seconds. You can definitely make a lot happen in 22 seconds, but I think Nick would certainly like some more touches by the end. He did in the first period, at least. Oh, scares Toldo. Doesn't want to start, though. Oh, that's why. So yeah, it's an interesting idea by Nick. Kind of like start, like give a very slight start to the attack, and then just like back away, and then immediately like cross step in or flesh in. It's almost like an epee style at that distance. You see that sometimes in epee. Some blade takes to make sure it's not passivity, and then wait for the time, and there we go. Okay, 12-8 for Toldo. Dominating performance so far. He's managed to stay pretty consistently ahead. I do feel like quite a bit of that margin is on Itkin, though. Like, he could be trying to make his attacks work more than he is. Although, to be fair, if Toldo is able to like just crush and counterattack 3 more times, he wins. So Itkin doesn't want to be too cavalier about it. And Nick is capable, definitely, of turning situations like this around. But Toldo's just like, normally Toldo's someone who goes pretty fast and loose. Like, you'd think they'd be less able to suddenly slow things down to hit when they need to. But Toldo's been able to do that this bout very well. I'm trying not to just like praise Toldo too much and not as much focus on the strategy, but like everything is working right now for Toldo pretty much. Alright, third period. 12-8. Here we go. Toldo marches. Little tempo changes in there, but pretty consistently slow. Itkin gives him a lot of space. But now he's out of space and Toldo finishes. Oof. Man. Nick, like, you've got to not get pushed to the end like that. It's gone badly for him every single time. Except I think once he managed to get a parry post. Alright, here we go again. Parry post by Nick, again. Stationary while he does it. It's very common for him. Nick marches this time. This is good. Finishes with a foreflick. That's what we like to see from Nick. That's I was basically yelling at him to do that for the entire preceding 2 periods, and finally manages to get a touch there. Incidentally, that's also a line that Toldo really likes to use against right-handers when he attacks. But again, as I mentioned way back, being left-handed and right-handed, the outside line is going to be favored, but Nick can turn that on his head, hit the inside line when Toldo's trying to close outside, so very nice. Nick continues to march. This is good. He's got to find a way to finish this, though. Stays in 4, and then, okay, finishes on the outside. Goes off target, though. All this constant line changing by Nick means it's almost going to be a matter of guesswork which line he finally finishes in. And Toldo's going to be really on the ball with his blade. Okay, Toldo takes it in 8. Starts. Nick's not giving any room, though. Okay. So I think Nick has caught on to the fact that Toldo is a little bit weaker when he's at the end of the strip, and to be fair, pretty much everyone is when they can't move backwards at all. It takes away some options. But I like that idea by Nick. He basically like plants himself at the 2-meter line, and that way, like, again, at that stationary distance situation, Nick has, I think, a better chance of finding something scrappy with the blade than Toldo does. So, let's see. Oh! I feel like that's attack left. No. Right? Didn't feel like Nick's blade take there. But at any rate, it's 1 light. Toldo's going to switch weapons. Nick has been doing very well this period, so weapon swap is also a good tactical move to kind of break his momentum a bit. Man. So now, honestly, if Nick keeps pushing him to the end, I feel like Toldo's got to find something else to do. Or find some way to stop that. It might devolve back into attacks off the line. Seems to be. Okay, that's parry post right. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think he's going to ask for video. He is going to take another little break. Maybe another tactical thing to try and stall for some thinking time. Man, 13-11 now, though. Nick's been really great pulling this back, and he's basically made all the right changes at this point. Oh, yeah, again, distance stationary, Nick wins, like, every single time. Just nice, simple parry forward post, kind of to the front shoulder. Again, parry riposte. And all, just like that, 13-13, all of a sudden. If I didn't know who wins, this would be like the most nail-biting bout. But at this point, trying to hype it up artificially isn't really worth it. So, Toldo finishes long, though, right off the line. Like I said before, that's also kind of like compound there, even, because Nick was also searching a bit. Toldo pushes hard. Nick parries, though. Tries it blasting and counterattack right as Nick starts, but Nick is, again, able to find an off-target there. That's really all he needs. As long as he can hit an off-target and not let Toldo get a single light there, he can keep doing that all day. Okay, Nick parries and starts. Marching again, constantly changing lines. Toldo trying to break it up by bouncing and bouncing out. Leaving the blade out, threatening a counterattack. But no! Again, very pristine disengaged lunge there by Nick. And it's Labelle. Here we go. Oh no, Nick tries a counterattack. Bad decision. And just like that, Toldo wins with an attack off the line. Against Nick, who like I said, I'm not sure what the world rankings were like before this tournament, but definitely I think of the favorite this bout. Except having seen what Toldo's capable of just now, and in the previous bout, he's done insanely well. So that's gonna end this bout. Yeah, I might just go straight on to the next one. Honestly, I'm kind of on a roll now. You know what? Yeah, I'll find another women's bout to do right after this one. So I'll then probably see you fairly shortly. Until then, stay sharp.